Oh, I didn't see you there. That happens when you're constantly climbing a tree. Just get into the zone, you know? Just climb a tree, climb down a tree, climb up the tree. Time just flitters away. I say that, and it's still midday on day 2. We managed to cram so much climbing into so little time. Hey folks, it's Kikoskia here, and welcome back to Let's Play Quest for Glory 2 VGA, and when last we left off we were climbing up, and up, to our goal of 200 climbing. This is the only tree which we can climb, and though the result is the same every time, that we just see the dunes stretching in all directions as far as the eye can see, we can feel our improvement in our body. We've grown stronger, more nimble, more hardy. And we've climbed this tree so many times that I'm not surprised that there are derrick, foot and hand-shaped grooves in the bark. There probably are. But the tree does not yield, and neither does our determination to get to maximum climbing. And we are incredibly close. We had 100 when we got to Shapir, and now we are past 175. By the time I next check, we might be at 180. We might be at 200. That'd be nice. The game just goes, you know what, just have the rest of the points. But no, the game's not going to do that. And once we've done that, we will then fight enemies in the desert until it gets to sunset, and then we will head back to the inn. We want to see Shima dance, and we also want another item that I've been hinting at. Because though the gates don't close in Shapir, the inn will. And there might not be anybody up to let us in if we choose to stay out too late. But there is a way to circumvent this, if you're in the inn at the right time. So let's just climb some more, and climb some more. The dervish has to appreciate our dedication. The dervish is dedicated to gaining wisdom. We're dedicated to gaining gains. Sweet, sweet gains. Always striving, always improving. How are our stats going? 179. And... oh, it's mid-afternoon now. Okay, it's finally moved to mid-afternoon. Midday is at last over. We might not in fact get 200 by the time it gets to sunset. We might not, but I will try my best. I will try my best. I really want to get to 200. Now, the intention in the game, I imagine, is that you do a little bit of everything in a day. You do some exploration around Shapir, you talk to people, you go have a meal, you do a bit of rock throwing, you go do a bit of climbing, you do some fighting. If you're a thief, you do things that thieves do. If you're a magician, you practice your magic. They probably didn't expect you to power level to the extent that I am. But I want to get this done. Let's face it, outside of fighting, Derek doesn't have a lot of skills to improve. Once we have a mastery of fighting, it's just climbing and rock throwing. It'd be even more important if I had other things to improve, like thieving skills and magic use. But as I said before, the game gives you an astronomically generous amount of time. Just look at last video. The whole of that climbing spree, where we gained over half of our maximum skills in climbing, was all in midday. And it's only day 2. I don't know how long mid-afternoon lasts compared to midday. Probably the same amount of time. Probably the same amount of time. I would like to fight a pterosaur if I can. I don't know if I can beat a pterosaur, but if I do that, then the only enemy in the desert that I haven't fought for the purposes of points is a scorpion. I'm not looking forward to facing a scorpion, but we are a lot stronger and a lot more agile than we were before. We are also a little bit better at fighting. We might be able to prevail. Although the harsh truth is more likely that we'll just get killed like before. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will happen. Not before we get maximum in climbing, however. I do like that most of the desert doesn't have music. It just makes it, ooh, look at that, 182 and 171 vitality. Marvellous. We're nearly 3/4 of the way to maxing out vitality. We're getting there, folks. We are getting there. It will not be long. Luck, that'll be a bit trickier. I suppose we are very lucky that we did find this oasis. Then again, I did look up how to find it. It would have took me a lot longer if I hadn't have looked it up. But the desert truly is a vast and empty land of desolate nothing. But people have lived in deserts for many centuries, and will continue to live in deserts for many centuries more. Deserts can sustain life. The problem is they can't sustain much life. They certainly can't sustain much life if you stay in one place, unless you have a source of water, like the oasis here, or the fountain in Shapir. I wonder if this water is also magical. I don't know. I don't know. And if it is magical, why is it magical? Is it inherent magic in the land that coalesces into bodies of water? Is it did someone in the far past wish for magic water? Is it just the blessings of the gods? Or is it just a thing that is, with no explanation? Or is it just something that the game doesn't expect you to delve too far into? Probably. 185. And we're running low on stamina, but we can do this 10 more times, or rather 9 more times. I'm going to lose count, and then I'm going to eat into my health, because I'm an expert at counting. Or am I? I don't know, let's find out, shall we? Let's find out. Now, in theory, I could increase the game speed to make this go even faster. But knowing me, I probably actually wouldn't make it faster doing this, because I wouldn't click fast enough to make it worth it. Also, I'd probably just click myself into an early grave by losing stamina. Yeah, we have one more of these we can do. And then we have to take another pill. Good thing we have them right here. How is our water doing? It's half full. Right, mental note, once we do max this out, fill up our water skins. I wonder if we get points for filling up our water skins in the oasis. I bet we do. Also, you may be wondering, what purpose does the points have ultimately? None. Some people will strive to get as many points as they possibly can, but in reality the points don't matter. Completing the game is all that matters. And so, you can play the game how you like as long as you end up winning. That's the most important thing. Some people will strive for maximum points, some people will strive for minimum points. I do wonder what the minimum points you can get in the game is. It's probably quite high, because you get a lot of points for completing the game usually. Because there are so many plot things you have to do, and usually the very end just goes, here, have a bunch of points. I mean, there are 500 points that you can get, and we only have 83 points so far. But 83 points is only 17 away from 20%. But yeah, defeating the threats that are going to assail Shapir probably will net us a lot more. I wonder if the Saurus's feet are okay. Desert sands can get incredibly hot. More climbing! All the climbing! I wonder if climbing that tree will be harder because of the beard. This tree is not suitable for climbing. Fair enough, we now know. All those people that were asking, why don't you climb the dervish's tree? That is why. The beard makes it unsuitable. That also is a hint that you could use the other tree for climbing. That is a hint. Though you probably knew that, considering you likely played the first game. I do like that the game has accommodations for you having not played the first game. It's always good to make a series as approachable as possible for people that haven't played the earlier entries. The best way to do that is to have a what happened previously for people that have never played before, like a summary of all the events that took place before you reached this part of a saga. It's a shame you don't get points for maxing out skills. Speaking of maxing out skills, 186, and we're at my lucky number of stamina. Let's go! Gain all of the gains! Again! More gaining! You know when I said that our right hand doesn't interact with the tree? Our left foot doesn't really interact with the tree at the top half either. So we're only really climbing with our right leg and our left hand. But we're still fantastic at it. Truly, we are an expert. But we are not yet a master. And we're still not a master compared to the people in the future games, who are even better at this than we are. They are incredibly skilled. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Soon. Very soon. I wish the soon came sooner. But it's not throwing rocks. At least it's not throwing rocks, Kiko. That was far more action intensive. So many more clicks per stat gain. But the stat gains were so good. They were so good. Maybe that's why they were so good, because you had to do a lot more clicking to make it happen. Maybe it's the click economy. More clicks means more skill gains. So clearly if I constantly click while I'm climbing, I'll gain more climbing. And that's not how that's going to work. That's not how that's going to work. Or is it? There's also a lily pad there. Can I look at that lily pad? It's a lily pad. Don't be silly, Lily. Leave that pad, Dad. Alright. Was worth it, though. Can I also grab these? No, I cannot. It was worth trying, though. It was worth trying. And this is when we don't, in fact, get to 200 climbing before sunset. Is it sunset? Nope, still mid-afternoon. Absolutely marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. When we get to 190, that's when the final stretch begins. That's when the final push starts. Like, we'll be so close. So close. Almost reach out and grab that max skill. How are we doing? 189 and 173 vitality. One more stat gain in vitality, and we are at 3/4 of the way. On day 2. On day 2. Luck, that's going to take a lot longer. But if we're lucky, it won't take too long. I get it. See what I did there? I made a joke about luck. Come on. We can get this stat improvement. We can get it. We can get it. Just need to work a little bit more. Let's go. Climb that tree. Climb that tree. And again. They should have put a different tree in that you could climb. There's this tree and there's the other thing by the griffin. But they should have had like a harder tree. Like, oh well, you got to 160. Now you need to climb this thing that's even more difficult, but you gain loads of experience in climbing if you succeed. I will say, however, that I like the fact that we haven't been able to fail at this, because failing really hurts. Falling off the tree, ow. That admittedly was only when you were going for the nest. But still, that hurt. That hurt. More climbing! More stats! More experience! I can only wonder what the maximum amount of experience you can gain is. Does it stop when you have no more skills to improve? Or will it just keep going? It certainly doesn't store them for the next game in the series. You don't suddenly gain tons of experience. So I imagine it's capped. And then once we've maxed all of our fighter-related attributes and skills, it would just be money that we'd be doing stuff for. Or I could gain a little bit of magic, but we're not going to do that. Derek is a fighter. Derek fights with sword and shield, brawn and agility. There is no magic tomfoolery that he employs. There are no sneaky thievy abilities. I know climbing is technically one, but realistically, as I said before, no. It's definitely a fightery thing. Oh, we are tired, aren't we? Yes, we are. But we're at 191 climbing. Yeah, we lost a bit of health there, but only a little bit. We pushed ourselves a bit too far. But there are only 9 more points for us to gain. 9. Once we've done that, we'll be done with this. And never again will we need to climb outside of what the quests in this game demand us to. And of course, considering in the first game there were multiple ways to solve every single problem, there will be multiple ways for us to solve problems in this game too. There'll be things that can be solved with magic, things that can be solved with thievery, and things that can be solved with fightery skills. We're going to be employing the fightery skills. Mainly stabbing things. And the universal skill of using your head. For not everything needs to be solved with stabbing. A lot of things can be, but it's usually best not to. It's usually best not to. Like, imagine if we'd have solved every problem in Quest for Glory 1 with stabbing. The ending would have been far less happy. Just gotta get that final bit of climbing done. Almost there, Derek. Almost there. Is it sunset yet? Nope, still mid-afternoon. Still mid-afternoon. You can get so much done in the afternoon after the climbing. So much fighting. We really want to get a lot of fighting done. Fight some brigands. See if we can find a pterosaur. Try and fight a scorpion. I get the feeling the scorpion battle is going to be difficult. I'll be happy to only defeat one of those. Unless, of course, we get a ton of money from defeating scorpions. If we get tons of money, I might change my tune. I might fight a lot of scorpions. I might. Alright, up we go, and down we go. Has the desert changed, Derek? No, it's exactly the same. It is the same! More desert sightseeing. Oh look, it's sand! Glad we checked, but is it still sand? Yes! Yes it is! It's all the sand, all the time, all the where. All the when? All the why. Why sand? Some would say that it is rough, coarse, irritating, and gets everywhere. But Derek? Derek doesn't mind. Derek likes the sand. 193, 174 vitality. 7 points of climbing to go, 26 points of vitality to go. Then it's just luck, weapon use, parry, and dodge. That's it. Let's climb back down. If only we could just climb up, jump over to there, climb back down, just do a circuit. Imagine if they had, like, a command in the game where it said, climb until stamina reaches this point. And then you could just tell it to climb and then go make yourself a drink or have breakfast. But that would rob us of the clicking to make us climb. At that point, the game would be playing itself. We're the ones playing the game right now. We're the one clicking to climb the tree, clicking to confirm the dialogue box, clicking to climb back down the tree. We're doing it. And everyone is a little bit more experience. How's our stamina? 86 and 194 climbing. 6 points to go. 6 points. I grabbed a handful of rocks by mistake. You know what? I'll keep them. I'll keep the rocks. Those rocks will come in handy. Maybe they won't. I could throw them at brigands. I don't think the brigands will care. Now if I'd hurled them with a sling, that would be different. That would be very different. And very deadly if we were good at it. I don't think Derek is good at using a sling. We're good at using a sword, though. Not as good as we could be, but we'll get there. One step at a time. One climb at a time. One rock throw at a time. One battle at a time. We will see this adventure done. Imagine if Space Quest had RPG mechanics. What stats would you improve? 62. Okay, so we can do this about 30 more times before we need to use another pill. I'm so glad I bought like 30 pills. Really need all these pills. Come on, Derek. Let's get those final stat points. We'll get to 199 eventually and I'll be like, darn it, it's now sunset. We definitely push on a little bit into sunset there. We absolutely would. We absolutely would. And then we go out and do some fighting. And day 3 will rise. And we'll try our luck in the desert. Against the pterosaurs and the scorpions and the brigands. Oh, the scorpions. Want to fight them all? I've fought 3 of the 5 enemies and beaten them. Fought the 4th one in an alternate timeline and lost. The pterosaurs are meant to be very dangerous. Just climb up. And down. No coconuts up these. Or fruits at all. Just trees. I wonder how he survives. Maybe the water sustains him wholly. 195. Okay, 5 points left. Just 5 points. Then we are done. Just to get those final few points. Amazing what you could do when you just have the ability to restore your stamina. Resting would consume so much time. It would definitely be deep into day 3 before we even got to 200 rock throwing if I rested. And those stamina pills make it so much simpler. How are our rations doing? This is a good question. How many rations do we have? 8! Okay, so we have eaten some rations. We did indeed eat some rations. We also have 8 stamina left. Okay, so 3 more of these, and then we need to use another pill. Yep, that's the second one, and that is the last one. Add pill. There we go. Now, how much water do we have left? They're still half full, and it's still mid-afternoon, and we still have 195 climbing. Alright, 5 more points. Let's go. 5 more points. I'm not even going to look anymore. I'm just going to do a ton of climbing, because every time I check, that's more time that's gone into checking my stat gains instead of gaining those stat gains. We will get 100 stat points in climbing by the end of day 2. Just think, if we hadn't have explored Shapir in day 1 and just gone immediately outside and thrown rocks, could have got to 200 rock throwing in day 1. But I think we did the right thing by exploring Shapir. Getting to know the lay of the land, meeting the people we need to meet, learning stuff about everyone and everything. Getting that combat tutorial was incredibly useful. Imagine if I'd have gone out into the desert without that combat tutorial. I'd have been absolutely obliterated by the jackal men, instead of being almost absolutely obliterated by the ghoul. Almost, but not quite. Nearly. This is when I gained 200. Incredibly quickly, and I just spend loads of extra time climbing this tree. Will we know? Not without me checking, but I'm not checking. I'm gonna check soon. I'm too worried that I'll go straight past 200. I am very worried about it. Alright, I'm checking now. 197, 3 points to go, 3/4 of the way to max vitality. Fantastic. Getting to 200 vitality is going to be trivial. Worst comes to the worst, we could just throw rocks. But I'd rather not throw rocks. I'd rather not. There we go. I think once we finished this load of stamina, we'll be pretty much there. One accomplishment! People have probably done this much faster than I, but they know this game a lot better than I do. Oh, they know this game so much better than I do. I can only imagine what a speedrun of this game is like. I can only imagine. I bet they actually gain very few skill increases during it. They just use the initial money that you get from the Baron of Spielberg to fund their way through the game, just relying on the free food and the free board at the Kata Inn, waiting for time to pass and then buying only what they absolutely need. That would be for any percent completion. If you're going for max points, ooh, there'd probably be a lot of fighting. Or maybe there's some, like, hidden treasure trove I just don't know about. There were quite a few of those in Quest for Glory 1. Like, just stockpiles of money that you could get. Not here that I've seen so far. But there might be. I'm gonna check my skill gains in a moment. How are we doing? Still at 197. I get the feeling it's gonna go 197... then 199, then 200. I get the feeling that's how it's going to go. And then we'll go out and do some more fighting. And end the day watching Shima dance and spend the night fighting some more monsters, gaining more skills, hopefully gaining a bit more money. We do need more money. We need more money to buy awesome souvenirs. That's what we need. We need awesome souvenirs. And Keepon will give us a little bit of cash for that dervish beard. If we fight the ghouls, we'll get some ghoul claw money. Get a lot of money from that. Not enough to be able to afford that awesome pin. That's 500 dinars. I want that, though. I really want that. Okay, how are we doing now? The answer is... 200! Yes! We have done it! We will do that, and we will get more water. Where do we walk to do that? We walk to here. You take a deep drink of the warm but refreshing water. You then check and refill all your water skins. Marvellous! And when we come back, folks, we have maxed out our climbing skill. And what's better, it's still mid-afternoon. We have loads of the day left. We could go fight some enemies and keep proving our skills until sunset. That's exactly what I intend to do next time. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not. And if you are subscribed, press that bell for those notifications. And I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later. You see this here? This right here? Peak Adventurer. So many gains. So swole. So agile. So hardy. But we could be even better still. That we can. Later.